Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope you are fine and safe at your homes. My name is Farhan Faisal Sheikh. I am lecturer in Fine Arts, Division of Arts and Social Sciences, University of Education, Lower Mall Campus, Lahore. My specialization is graphic design. I'm going to teach you the subject Communication Design. The course code of this subject Fine 3120 BFA Honors 6 semesters session 2017-21. Lecture number 6 Law, Ethics and Social Responsibilities in Graphic Design. This lecture is very important for the students of graphic design. They must know the law, ethics and social responsibilities in graphic design. Copyright versus trademark and comparison chart. Copyright and trademark applies to original work of authorship such as literature, music, movies, software and art. Prevents others from copying or selling the work. For instance, in copyright, Batman the character, comic books and movies are all copyrighted works. It's legal to distribute them or copy them without permission. It is also illegal to use Batman the character in a movie without permission. But in trademark, original marks on goods to denote the brand selling the items. Other from using a confusingly similar mark including words or phrases. No company other than Nike can use the Nike brands to sell shoes or clothes. Confusing brands like Nike may also not be used. Copyright laws every graphic designer should be aware of. Copyright is defined as having the exclusive right to control reproduction and commercial misuse of your work. Number 1. Copyright registration. What is copyright registration? In Pakistan Constitution, copyright is a legal right that protects an original work. It provides sole proprietorship and ownership to the one who has produced work and prevents others from copying. How do I copyright my images? How to register your copyright? If you decide to register your copyright of a particular image, head to copyright.gov. However, you need to register if you want to be able to sue somebody for legal damage. Using the symbol itself as the image is not required, but notice need to be given with the image that is registered in order for you and able to sue for damages. Advantages of registering copyright. Registration of copyright establishes a public record of the copyright holder's ownership. Registration of copyright enables copyright holders to sue against in federal courts. If one is using copyright material of another without his permission and earned profit from that, then court may take action against him to compensate damages by giving the copyright owners his profit as restitution. Registration of copyright allows copyright owner to record the registration with Pakistan Customs. It will protect against the import of infringing copies into the Pakistan. Who can apply for registration of copyright? The real owner of the original work can apply for the registration of a copyright. A copyright can have multiple owners if there is an agreement between them. These multiple owners of copyright are called co-owners of the copyright. The transfer ownership of work such as book, manuscript, painting, or any other copy or record does not give the possessors the copyright. It is state laws which regulate business dealing involving these copyrights. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What can be copyrighted? Point number 2. According to the section number 10 of the Copyright Ordinance 1962, as amended by the Copyright Amendment Ordinance 2000, the things which can be copyrighted include literacy work, including computer programs, excluding speeches, musical works, including any accompanying words, dramatic words, including any combination of melody and harmony or either of them produced or reproduced graphically. Pantomimes and choreographic works, pictorial works, sculpture and artist works, that is painting, sculpture, drawing, engraving or a photograph or design. An architectural work of art and other work of artist craftsmanship. Motion pictures and other visual works, sound recordings, any disc, tape, wire, perforated roll or other device in which sounds are embodied. Architectural plans, drawing and actual buildings. Point number 3, your creation, your copyright. So is the copyright automatically mine if I create it? Yes and no. An exception would be if you are designing something for an employer, then more often than not, they will own part of the copyright as well. Most companies will want your work for them to be only theirs, but it good to get shared rights so you can claim it for solid reference. Usually these agreements prohibit you from using the image anywhere else, but you still claim it's your creation. Other than that, yes, any original work you create is yours. Point 4, defining infringement. What is infringement rule or law? An infringement is a minor offense that involves breaking a rule or law, and breach can result in legal penalties if you are breaking a law, as in the case of copyright infringement or a patent infringement. An infringement can also be a violation of a rule or an agreement that applies in a specific situation. Infringement is when someone takes a large part of your design without your authority. Point number 5, how original work is defined. To be completely honest, but it does have to be easily distinguishable as your own effort. For example, a design with a green and yellow Pepsi can that doesn't say Pepsi and has slightly different curves in the design could in a lot of cases be considered original because nothing proves it's really even a soda can. Sometimes providing your work is yours is even harder than coming up with something that is considered original. So the only way, that is only copyright registration protects your original work. What you need to sue. If someone your registered copyright design, if you can prove the person copied your design, then you can seek damages. You can file for an restriction which prevents any more distribution or copyright your work by the other party. You can claim compensation for the copies of your work that have already been used, or if you can provide the infringement, you can request the court take more disciplinary measures against the copyright party. At most, they will just have to credit you for the work or remove it from the place profiting from it. Point number 7, copyright protection in foreign countries. You will receive the same copyright protection for your design in all of the countries who have signed the Berne Convention. The Berne Convention for the Protection of Literacy and Artists' Works, usually known as the Berne Convention, is an international agreement, government copyright which was first accepted in Bern, Switzerland in 1886. For the protection of literacy and artist work, laws vary slightly with durations, deadlines, and court processes, but the general laws of copyright are accepted by the majority of the world. Duration of copyright protection. While copyright laws do vary from country to country, in most cases it lasts until 50 years after the person's death. In the United States, copyright protection lasts for 70 years after death. Why every designer needs a code of ethics? Many professions have codes of ethics, a common set of guiding principles that help you make fair decisions. Code of ethics often protect both the worker and client. Designers working in a team or individual environment should be working with a code of ethics. Many designers might even follow multiple codes, one set by an employer, one set by professional organization, and one set that is a more personal set of rules and guidelines. One thing is certain, every designer needs a code of ethics. Designer responsibility to clients. The principle defines the basic way in which you will interact with clients. Concepts include conflicts of interest, confidentially and professionally, responsibility and behavior. How you decide to interact with clients is important and will get the tone for who hires you and the reputation you earn in industry. How designers interact with each other. How designers work with and interact with each other is just a valuable of a concept as working with clients. Items they are often covered by the principle include taking or working on projects started by other designers, fair and open competition in business, objectivity, honoring all others' work including copyrights, trademarks, and other designs property, and working within other relevant and generally accepted codes of conduct. Designer responsibility to the public. Designers should also think about the work they produce can impact the people who will see it. This audience includes the public at large, distinct customer groups, and the community in which the designer works and lives. Things to consider includes taking over projects that could result in some degree of harm to the public, the communicated message, and its truthfulness, mutual respect of the audience. Dear students, you can ask any question regarding this lecture from me without any hesitation. Thanks, take care, Allah Hafiz, and best of luck.